Welcome to the Geek Homeworld. I am your host, SavageTechman. We talk sci-fi, TV, movies, superheroes, and all from a geek perspective. You can find us on Blogger, Google+, Twitter, Facebook. We're everywhere. Join the Geek Homeworld. On this episode, we're focusing on the highlights of the Consumer Electronics Show that was held in Las Vegas this week for 2016. And it usually every year looks forward to the future, what you can get now, and there's a lot of concept things that will be available eventually. But it's really a cool way to kick off the calendar year, seeing what's coming up, what the companies are envisioning, and as we get closer to things like virtual reality becoming a reality, an affordable reality, and other things that help make our lives a little bit easier. So here's just a quick list of a few things that caught my eye when I was looking through. I did not obviously get to go to the Consumer Electronics Show, but if everybody in the audience here wants to send in a bunch of money to me, then certainly I will go to the Consumer Electronics Show next year in Las Vegas, or wherever it's being held. And here we go with, and send that money in if you want to. It's up to you. I accept hundreds and all that. Anyway, some of the highlights. Let's see. One of the things that recently, having to deal with a refrigerator breaking down and getting a new one, I got one with one of those pull-out drawers because I'm kind of lazy. If it's not where I can reach it, probably a lot of you are out there, I'm not going to get to it. So if like I want to eat fruit or I want some cheese and it's not really within arm's reach, I'm really not going to bend down anywhere to get it. But I've got this special pull-out drawer, which is awesome. But one thing that was at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas this week that they showed was what's called the Samsung's Family Hub Smart Fridge. Pretty dumb name, but it makes sense when you think about what it entails. And let's say I'm looking for the cheese in my refrigerator, and I don't know where it's at. You have a 21.5-inch HD display, a full HD display, that you can see what is in the refrigerator, and it really helps you with like a shopping list there. It tells you what food is inside of the refrigerator. It'll also let you write, virtual notes instead of taking a magnet and a Post-it note and putting that on the fridge to remind you of something. You can put little notes in there, like if your kids come in, you can say, don't forget your lunch, or even yourself, if you're going to work, say, don't forget your lunch. You can write a little note out there on the touch screen, which is pretty cool. And yes, if I won that, what is now a $1.3 billion lottery out there, the Powerball, if no one's won it yet, I got my tickets, but unfortunately I didn't win. Here I still am. But I would certainly get one of those. And I'd probably buy a bunch of stuff on this list, which would be awesome. And actually, it might take more than $1.3 billion to buy what's on this list. But the Samsung's, their Family Hub Smart Fridges, seems like a pretty cool idea. It's not a new idea, but they've really made some advancements when it comes to this. They kind of blow some of the other stuff out of the water comparatively from what we've seen previously. There's another thing called the Hydro Smart Shower, and basically it's involved with an app that you have on your phone or your tablet or whatever, and it changes colors during the course of the shower to let you know how long you've been in the shower and how much water you're using in the shower. So if you say like, okay, 5 gallons turn red, 10 gallons turn blue, and actually that's a really good way for a visual person like myself to say, oh, it's blue right now. I've already used 10 gallons of water, but better get out this shower or whatever. Fitbits are all the rage. Everybody's running around or sitting down looking at their Fitbit, realizing how lazy they are. I have a little app on my phone that tells me how many steps I take, and usually I'm not taking enough, and it tells me how lazy I am. It doesn't make me want to get more fit, but, well, it does a little bit. But Fitbit, everybody's got a Fitbit pretty much. There's like an overload of Fitbits out there. They were the big holiday season and a thing that everybody wanted this year. I can tell you, working in retail as I do, I definitely saw that they were the hot item. And basically they showed you the Fitbit Blaze, which I think is about $199 roughly. It's a smartwatch with a color touch screen, and it's got a much more improved style and functionality than previous Fitbits that are on the market now. And you can take your phone calls and text on there. If you wanted to decline a phone call, you could do that. Also, if you have anything on your calendar, it will certainly alert you to that. And it can be a handy little device, kind of like the Apple iWatch and stuff like that, except it will give you, it's dedicated more to being a Fitbit, giving you the information you need on your workout and stuff like that. One of the way out there concept cars that had no price tag that I could find, and is way beyond anything that I could even afford with the $1.3 billion Powerball if I won that. Well, I probably could afford it then, but not much more on this list. Faraday's FF001 car, and it's a 1,000 horsepower engine, which is pretty impressive. And it's an all-electronic concept car, so another car of the future. And no, it doesn't fly. It's definitely not like in Back to the Future. I don't know if we'll ever see those. But that FF001 car, awesome-looking futuristic car. And mega expensive. Another item on the list is eHang, and that's EHANG. They're 500-pound passenger drone, and it can basically transport one person at about 62 miles per hour in about 23 minutes to their location. So that's pretty cool. And it is not legal yet in the States here. It's made by the Chinese company eHang. So that would be something that would be fun. A little George Jetson kind of car. So no, it doesn't fold down into a little suitcase. But on the more realistic side, Chevrolet came out with the Chevy Bolt. And it's an electric car. It retails for about $30,000. So still very pricey. It seats 5, even though if you look at the picture of it, it doesn't look like it would seat 5. But they say it seats 5, and it has a range of 200 miles approximately. So that's pretty good for an electric car. If you can go pretty much 200 miles without a charge, that's very good. And my next car, hopefully years from now, will be an electric car, a complete electric car. I would love that. But it's got to have that kind of horsepower to it. I'm looking for that. And I'm also, as a tech geek, I'm also looking at the electronics that are on board with it. Is there, increased navigation? Is there, a lot of the latest gadgetry? Is there on screen or on windshield like a 3D kind of display? That would be awesome. Of course, all that I'm sure costs even more. But if you've got $30,000 and you're looking to spend it, you can take you and 4 of your friends on a 200-mile jolt in your Bolt. There you go. Chevrolet Jolt. Take a jolt in the Bolt. We can trademark that, okay? Under Armour has come out with Gemini 2 shoes, and they cost about $180 a pair, and they have the sensor tracking that tracks your fitness. That was another thing that we saw at CES 2016. And it kind of goes in with the Fitbit craze. Everybody's using technology, wearable technology. That's definitely here to stay. And it's to keep track of your fitness. And this is just another way. This taps into the app that you have to download, et cetera, et cetera. But it's interesting. I don't know if I'd spend $180 on a pair of shoes, but if you have $180 to drop, then that's probably not a bad way to do it, especially if you're really hardcore and serious about timing yourself and how many calories you burn and et cetera, then this might be the way to go, definitely. Maybe in combination with the Fitbit, you could be totally teched out. You just need to find a place to plug in and recharge. Another thing that was very impressive, probably one of the most impressive things at CES 2016 was the LG brand OLED 18-inch rollable display. And it totally is how you see some of the new TVs that are curved. It's the same technology, but this is actually looks like a piece of paper, like a transparent piece of paper that even while it's folded up, it's still playing video as if it were a regular screen. So it's a foldable screen. And what LG is working towards, and this is just the very beginning of really big roll-up displays, like 50, 60-inch displays that are rollable. So I could basically roll it up. I don't know if that 60-inch display would roll up in my pocket, but you could roll it up, take it over to your friend's house, and I guess lay it flat on the wall or however you do it, unroll it, and stream video to it. So very interesting use of technology. That is definitely one of the standouts. We've talked before about the Oculus Rift VR, and PlayStation's got their own version coming out. Everybody's got their own version, and we've been trying the virtual reality thing for a lot of years, but I think Oculus Rift is finally getting it there. They did have a showing of that at CES 2016, and it's still not really for the average person just yet. It is within a decent price range, the Oculus Rift, but the Oculus Touch motion controllers that fit on your hands are not included with this Oculus Rift VR headset. The headset does include the sensor and an Xbox One controller, so obviously I believe Facebook, if I remember correctly, purchased Oculus Rift, so Facebook kind of owns it, yet it's packaged with an Xbox One controller, so that's kind of interesting. So a little Facebook / Microsoft working together there, I suppose, and I'm not sure where Facebook's taking it, but it's interesting to see with their influence and the money they have to throw around, as well as Microsoft and the technology they have. So the Oculus Rift VR may be worth taking a look at. It's still a little bit pricey. It's a little bit out of the range there. I've seen some reports that is around $300, probably a little bit more than that, a little more, a little less. LG apparently was a star of the show because they did show something else that was even more impressive. Maybe not as impressive as the rollable display that they had, but they showed an 8K LED TV, and that's just so you know what 8K is. It's 8 times the resolution, or it's probably like a revolution, but it's 8 times the resolution of a full HD TV. So you've got the 4K out there, which is 4 times that, and the 8K is 8 times that of regular full, or what we call full HD TV right now. So we're looking at 7,680 by 4,320 resolution, which I don't think our eyes could take that. I don't think my eyes could take that. That's like super ultra maximum high definition. It's even higher than high definition. So, and that's just too damn expensive. I don't even think it had a price tag on it for that TV that I could find, but an 8K LED TV by LG, spectacular. Definitely something that that I'd love to have, but I'd need to win that Powerball or take a lot of donations from a vast listening crowd here of followers. So those actually are, it's not much, but that's a little bit from CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that was held in Las Vegas for 2016, and they're already obviously looking at 2017 next year. It'll be interesting to see and follow us here on the podcast at Geek Homeworld, and we'll be keeping you up to date with more stuff. And we'll try to get a post up of some of these pictures of some of these items. You can obviously search them on the internet or search CES, their website, and you can see all the pictures of these products and much more. So that's our little wrap up now of the Consumer Electronics Show for 2016, and we thank you for listening, and we're looking forward to a great, wonderful technological advancement here this year in all the technology, and we're going to be following it all here. And just to thank everybody who's followed us so far in 2015, and a lot of our new listeners that we're picking up, especially internationally. We do appreciate everything here at the podcast, so keep checking us out, and we'll talk with you soon.
Breaking news.
Normally we wouldn't talk about this, but considering it's kind of geek related, some of our movies that we enjoyed in 2015 are getting recognized for how good they were at the Golden Globes. And from motion pictures, musical or comedy, and I wouldn't have picked this as a comedy per se or even a musical, but The Martian starring Matt Damon won for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. And while we also have other people winning awards there, the Best Picture Drama was The Revenant, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. He won for actor in a drama. And we also have Sylvester Stallone, supporting actor for the movie Creed, which was pretty cool for Sly getting that. And one of the main things I wanted to mention was under the television category for series drama, Mr. Robot, one of my favorite shows of 2015, a breakout hit. It won for series drama. So that is some of the stuff coming out of Hollywood right now. Just thought we'd want to mention that. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Geek Homeworld podcast with your host, SavageTechman. You can find us on Libsyn, Google+, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, listen to us on iTunes, see us on YouTube, be part of our Mixler chats. Thank you. See you again on the Geek Homeworld podcast.